Like, niggas, shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna hear nobody tell them that. You don't hear anybody there around or them even going into Bibles to debunk anything. You know, they're just making these comments. They can't debunk any of the truth, man. And that's one of the reasons why they hate it, because it's against their beliefs. You know? Besides, the Most High darkened their eyes. So if any may have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And if you ain't a man, you ain't gonna try to relate to that anyway. Killing your enemies with the sword, man. Because you're looking to love that motherfucking faggot, man. You're looking to lay down with that nigga, man, that devil, man. Because he said it's okay for you to lay down with another man and a woman to lay down with another woman, man. When you finding pleasures, you're that natural man. Remember what the scripture said. You're that natural piece of shit. That natural piece of shit. So this devil said everything is all right. You can eat what you want. You can do what you want. Do as thou wilt. That whole scandal with that clothing line place or whatever with Kim Kardashian and all that, man. Them devils, man. That's some demonic ass shit, man. And again, you seeing this devil vomiting all that shit, and you eating it up. You eating all this devil's vomit up. John 8:44. You know? Here. I was about to quote it. I'm going to do it this way. You are of your father, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. He's a murderer. 2/3 are murderers. You know? And abode not in the truth. 2/3 ain't in the truth. Because there is no truth in him, no truth in 2/3. When he's speaking, they lie. Y'all some lying individuals, y'all some lying devils, just like the Edomites. He speaketh his own lie. Especially when this devil's speaking about this word. Same thing with these niggas when it comes to speaking about this word, man. They're some liars, man. They're lying. For he is a liar and the father of it. So your daddy's a liar. Your God is a liar. So you a liar. You know? You can't make this up, man. Pieces of shit. You know? That's hoping to God that they're praying to their God that these prophecies don't happen, man. And they're praying to God that the spirit of Judas, the spirit of Cain overwhelm us, man. They want to see the men of the Lord get killed. They want to kill the men of the Lord. Pieces of shit. So it says this. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Hey, that's beautiful, ain't it? Ain't it beautiful? Ain't it beautiful? So let me do this real quick. Let me go back to that Titus 3. A man that is inherited after the first or second admonition reject. I went into that the admonition first, and now let me go into what a heretic is. A nigga. A heretic is a nigga, man. It's just a Greek word for a nigga. Another Greek word for a nigga. Because they're Hellenized. You know? That's a way of Esau. That's a way of Edom. Esau, Edom. You know? Hellenization. That's a way of Edom, man. That Jake is embracing to the point these motherfuckers go and even put will brand themselves, man, with iron, man, hot iron, man. And scar themselves with the symbols of these devils, man. Whew! You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up, man. You know? They want to be just like their daddy, man. You know? They want to follow all the ways of Satan because it makes them feel good. You know? Because that hard way of the truth, man, oh, no, that's too straight for me. That's what they saying in their mind. That's too straight, man. It's easy, man. Come on, man. You know? Let's do our thing, man. Let's do our thing, man. This is how these niggas think, and that's how they act, man. Let's get ours, man. Live or die. Or die trying. These niggas gone, man. Discipline? They look at discipline like COVID, you know? Just like these women look at being modest and being disciplined and being a lady and being feminine is that C19, you know what I'm saying? Same way with these niggas, man. Discipline themselves, following orders, following instructions, serving the Halabashim outside. That's too hard. That takes too much effort. That's how they looking at it. So when heretic is fitted or able to take or choose a thing, schematic, factitious, a follower of a false doctrine, a heretic. Here it is again. Schematic, factitious, factious, a follower of a false doctrine. Just like your daddy, man, the devil. Let me go through these words real quick. Schematic means schematic. Division, separation. Remember, we're to be separate, which means holy. What's the other? If we're to be separate from the others, man, then if we're holy, then what are they? Wicked. Also, a discord, disharmony. A schism between political parties is always a back and forth. You know? Remember, Most High created two things, man, good and evil. Former division in or separate from a church or religious body, the offense of promoting schisms. Schisms. Factious. Factious is factious, factious. Means something. Check this out. Remember, he said he's a liar and the father of it. Invented and not true or existing. Damn. They're heretics. They're heretics. I mean, this is what they do. They just make up shit. They're liars, man. These motherfuckers is liars, man. And you already know these Edomites, every last one of them, 100% of these motherfucking Edomites, they're liars, man. They just lie. You know, they just make up shit. Invented and not true or existing. False. Wow. Okay? This is beautiful. Again, a follower of false doctrine. So, Titus 3:10, a man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition reject. Knowing that, because really, it's the spirit that's going to deal with that individual from that point on. So rather, either, and that's, that's the majority that the Most High is going to turn away. It's that small remnant that the Most High is going to turn back unto him, you see? So majority of most people, the mass majority of the world is going to reject this here. The Most High, he likes to deal with the underdog. Yahweh Shai like to deal with the underdog, those that look like they have no strength, You know? Those that look like all corners and all doors is going to shut on us because the devil's about to make his move. This piece of shit is about to make his move on us. You know? Look like we have no might. We have no strength of arms. But our hope is in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That hope. There's a scripture on hope. Hope that is seen. Here, let me see if I can find it. Beautiful scripture. This is a beautiful scripture. This is a beautiful scripture. Let me see if I can find it first. Hope that is seen. I'm about to stroke the hell out. Straight up. Romans 8:24. Motherfucker like he's about to stroke out. It's chilly out here. He's sweating profusely. He's just walking. For we are saved by hope. The hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet have hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Back to Titus 3:10. Knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. Okay? So, knowing that he that is such is subverted. Streffel. To turn and twist out, tear up, to turn aside. To turn inside out, invert, to change the worst, pervert, corrupt, to change for the worse, pervert, to change for the worse, pervert, and corrupt. So now you see why we have to be separated and dismiss ourselves from the presence of these individuals because they're perverts, man. They're corrupt, man. You know? You go pervert, here. Pervert, altered from its original course, meaning or state to a distortion or corruption of what was first intended. Damn. So they're contrary, they're opposite of holiness and righteousness and cleanness. You know? A person whose sexual behavior is regarded as abnormal and unacceptable. Damn. Didn't he say reject them? Didn't he say reject that heretic? He's unacceptable. They're unacceptable. We were unacceptable and rejected at one point. Then he opened his arms back and received us. You see? Heretic, simpleton, nigger. They call themselves nigger, goon, fool. And they turn those words into terms of endearment when talking. I got fucking nephews, man, that talk that foolish way constantly. They younger, man, young motherfuckers. They ain't young, they in their 30s. Literally talk like fools, man. Talk stupid. There ain't nowhere to bring them up out of that state of mind. Because that's where they at. So you got the point of Titus 3 and 10 and 3 and 11. That's a beautiful thing. So back to 1 Corinthians, these natural men that can't receive his truth. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High. So that's why you see black on the rise. That's why you see witchcraft and Satanism on the rise. That's why you see all these things on the rise, man. That's why you see Jake, doing their own goddamn thing, man. putting this off. Because that's nor it's going to benefit them ignoring that, because that's always been a thing of Jake. Ignore it, and eventually it's just going to go away. Nah, that's not happening anymore. You know, that's not happening anymore. No more, like the scripture says, no more will that proverb be heard amongst men. The children here, no more will that proverb be heard amongst them. There's a third proverb, or that proverb. Ezekiel 12:22. The Most High asked that, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have heard, that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision felony? The land of Israel, meaning he's referring to the people. He's referring to the 12 tribes. That proverb in the land of Israel saying the days are prolonged and every vision felony. You still hearing that, man. You still got those ignorant ass niggas that's talking about the great millstone 2000, they said the world was going to end then. Shut the fuck up. Year 2000 passed and gone. Shut the. Woo! You want to talk about getting smacked, man? Most High, when he starts to do his work, man, his marvelous work, his strange work, man, these motherfuckers in trouble. How else can I say it, man? The children of disobedience. A sinful nation, an adulterous generation. Ooh. Tell them, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, our power, I will make this proverb to cease. You see, you and your worldly solutions, because they hell bent on it that, oh, come on, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Rome, that way it's always been. It's coming, like the Yahweh Shemashai said, it's going to cease. Now prophecies is coming into play. Now the word of the Lord that he's spoken and promised is about to come into play, man. Now he's about to reveal his word to the world. And that started with the men of the Lord being put on the streets, man. Starting with the spirit of John the Baptist, the late 60s. Abba Bivens, who is John the Baptist. And the spirit, you can feel it in the spirit, man. That was actually John the Baptist, man. Some of us got those videos of his speeches. Abba Bivens, John the Baptist. You know? And to listen to him, man, there's power in it, man. There's power in it. So it says, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease. They shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. No more. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. Central bank digital currency. Central bank digital currency. It's coming in under a different name now. That corrupt, that stigma is coming in under a different name now. It's coming in a deceitful manner to deceive the masses, you know. They're creeping in slowly. If you haven't been watching and paying attention, you're just gonna get caught the fuck up. Ain't no waiting for the last moment when these things start to happen. Then I'll get right. Then I'll start making moves. Then I'll start preparing. No, man. The way to prepare is through the spirit. It's a spiritual way of preparing. There's only one way. It's that straight gate, man. It's that straight gate. It's the difficult path that only one man can cross along. One at a time. That's how narrow that path is. Speaking of a scripture that's in 2nd Ezra. Speaking about that narrow path. But anyway, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision, for there shall be no more any vision vain vision, for there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. So they see themselves being equal with the devil. That's what they see themselves. They see themselves prospering amongst these devils. While this devil is still reigning hell on this earth, they think they're living side by side, living good. So that's a badass Israelite bitch. They got it going on, man. Now, ain't no way in the world she's trying to hear this word, man. Driving her BMW, and she was bad. She was bad, too. Hey, let me do this. Let me take claim. Let me take claim of that thing. Let me take claim of that fine-ass bitch, man. That fine-ass Israelite woman. Fine. She ain't humble in the least bit. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesied of the times that are far off. So in their mind, they're thinking, ain't man, this is what's going on, it's just gonna come to pass. Because they got the ears, they got them niggas throwing it in their ear that this ain't real. You know, we're black, we're African. That's what they're hearing. They're hearing celebrities, they're hearing the rich man, they're hearing people that got these platforms that got millions of followers listening to them. Oh, let's listen to them, man. Ain't he right? Cause he makes me laugh. Cause he's funny. Cause he's handsome. Motherfuckers love money so much they're blind. They love money so much ain't no way they choose to have money other than the truth. Man. Stupid. Son of man, behold that. Behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth. This for many days to come, he prophesied of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus said the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, said the Lord power. Like what? Exactly the words that we speak, exactly what the word said is going to happen. Exactly what the scripture says. That's what we're giving to the world, man. That's the truth of these scriptures. That's all we're commanded to do is just give them the truth of these scriptures, man. Prophesying, the spirit of prophecy, prophesying the downfall of Esau, Edom. And that's the scripture I'm going to get to. Let me get that now. Esau, Edom. The destruction of Esau, Edom. The destruction of Esau, Edom. But since they don't want to believe that Esau is Japheth, then how does that play in the scriptures? How does that play in the scripture? This should go in there. Says this, 2 Ezra 6. It says, so he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet, and hear a mighty sounding voice. And it shall be as it were a great ocean, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved. And therefore when it speaketh, be not afraid, for the word is of the end. And the foundations of the earth is understood. And why? That's a question. And why? Because the speech of these things trembled and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound, it was like the sound of many waters. And that's how this would have described his voice. How do you think this word being pushed out sound like? The sound of many waters, man. This word is referred to as rivers of living water. So it comes out hard, man. It's the spirit of prophecy. It's coming out rough. It's coming out hard, man. Because it's what's required. This world was living in wickedness for too damn long. You know? Raise up my voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression. You see? And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh. He's beginning to visit the world which he made, beginning to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. So the Lord has, like the scripture said, he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the world. Because they're contrary to his ways. The world is contrary, and mainly this devil, man, the Edomites. And they're contrary, they're opposite of the Lord, man. They're enemies of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. So it says, and I will begin to make an inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away, this present world shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. The books shall be opened. What does it say? And the books shall be opened before the firmament, satellite division, blasting videos from one part of the world to the other part of the world, bro. It's uploading videos. So we ain't got to be doing no goddamn traveling, man. Trying to please, man, trying to impress motherfuckers. Because you can get on the plane and go from one place to another and teach a couple of individuals, like not even setting up camp, but just teaching a couple of individuals like that. Man, that ain't how the Lord, that's not how he instructed us to push this word. IUIC, perfect example, man. Peraza and gang here in Columbus that left the United States. They literally left, man. You heard old girl, one of his wives said, yeah, he might have to come back because his sons is here. That's what she said on video. It says this. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with a voice, and the woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall sown places be sown, appear unsown. The 4 storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound. So like where's my scripture? That's all part of the scriptures that I'm looking for. I should have started up further because the point was at 6 and 9. That's funny though. Because it still lines up. 6 and there's a 6. And 5 and 4. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up before the measure of the thunder remained, wherever the chimneys of Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sold out, and wherever the adventures of them that now sin were returned, before they were sealed that were gathered faithful and treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. And by none other. So we're patient waiting for this to happen. And by none other. The true living power of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. The true living God, man. And by none other. So ain't gonna be no Trump coming back in office making America great again. Giving you super low gas price, $1 and some change maybe. Jake receiving reparations. All this shit is about to be destroyed, man. Ain't no politician or no nigga gonna give you no false promises. Like he said, false divinations, false visions. Then answered I and said, what shall be the part of the summer of the time? Or when shall be the end of the first Esau ruling? In the beginning, that short season of this goddamn devil rule, and the beginning of it that followed. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau, now if Esau is Japheth, then how do they even line up in prophecy? How does that even line up in prophecy? How does that mean? How do you line that up in prophecy that the Lord is going to destroy Japheth? That he hates Japheth. I love Jacob, but I hate Japheth. Where does that line up? Where does that line? How does that line up in the scriptures? You can't line it up. It's a lie. It's a falsehood. For Esau, the so-called white man, the Edomites, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of their following. So I'm going to end it with that. So I'd like to say, Lord, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Yahweh, for Hashem Yahushai, for Hashem Rakakadash. Salutation, peace, and blessings to the rest of the day. Hashem laboring on. Shalom.